right. McTominay, Sims, equaliser. Ellis Sims. Sims, he's right. Oh no, that's unbelievable. You better believe it. Coventry City are heading to Wembley.
Hello guys, welcome back to That Cov Pod, a late night special after Preston won, Coventry won. We still can't win at Deepdale. John Dawkins, what on earth is going on? I thought he was in the bag, 1-0 up, playing against 10 men, and somehow we found a way not to win that game of football.
Yeah, I think, look, honestly, pitch was like London Road, mate. Folly Lane away, wasn't it? Pitch was shocking. No excuses. Lackluster. We looked lethargic again. Didn't really start the game well. Thought we were sluggish. But had the chances. It's you know what? We're recording this probably 10 minutes after full time. And I always say the same thing. It feels like a defeat, really, doesn't it? Because of the 10 men and the situation. And we had a lot of ball. We weren't really creating a lot. And I'm really, really frustrated. Sloppy goal to concede. I'm angry with De Silva. I'm angry with Wright with the big chances, a couple of massive chances he missed. And he also didn't defend. His defending was so poor on the equaliser. But what I don't understand was the in-game management. Why pull him off? Why not just leave Wright and him on up top and just go for it? But when the dust settles, you know what? It might be an okay point up there, but we have to win Saturday. Psychologically, I felt like we'd run out of ideas. I thought Rodoni wasn't doing enough for me. Strange goal. We'll get into that. Right, pulling my hair out with him tonight. He gets the sending off. Sims don't get you that. But then he's missed a couple of great chances. Very, very frustrating that. Very frustrating. Obviously, we're 10 minutes after full time, but I just thought the ball weren't running well on the pitch. I was pleased that Frank changed it. We went straight to the 4-3-3 straight away, but I just didn't understand why we didn't throw the kitchen sink at them at the end. We weren't creating enough. Tats was poor from wide areas with the ball into the box. Grimes' delivery into the box weren't great. Just making poor decisions. It just needed a bit of composure and that little bit of quality, and it just didn't come.
Just needed to strangle them almost. It felt like we were in a position where we were 1-0 up. They had 10 men, and then they made a sub, which we couldn't do. All they did was take a centre-back off Jig and put a big man up front, and we couldn't really deal with that.
No, we couldn't deal with that. They've got their strikers. Is it who's the lad who scored? Jebberson.
Yeah, he's turned into a good player.
He's kind of what you want out of our strikers. He's the same build, he's the same shape. That's how our strikers should be. They should be roughing up the centre halves. They should be stuck into them. I just think we're too nice at times. Don't get me wrong. Right today, yes, he missed them chances. That header I'd say, was the worst chance out of the lot. But he gets himself into them positions. He was peeling off the centre halves really well. He was finding some good through balls. The first chance he had on about 12 minutes, his touch took it away from him, and he messed that one up. But then a few minutes later, he had another one over the top. His touch was good, but it was a great save, and you can't really blame him for that one. The header, though, you just anywhere on target there. Sims scores that. Sims would not tap that in with his head. Right, I don't know what he's done there. That should have been 1-0 on 20 minutes. It's bizarre, just frustrating. It's just this. Like, before the game, you'd have maybe said
he did well. He did well.
We'd be happy with a point. Oh, he did do well. I'm not.
That ball over the top. That's what annoys me about him. The ball from Saka, unbelievable. Not, by the way, on his left, straight through. We're going quite direct, weren't we? Good first touch, great second touch. Bury it.
Yeah.
Score the header. Pony on toast. De Silva fast asleep for the goal. Oh, I'll let him go. Go on then. Right. Look at how he's defended.
But why are we in the situation where we've got a man extra and Hadji Wright's marking their striker in the box? How's that happened?
They put two up top, went long, but you've seen it at Ipswich. They went long over the top the other day, bang goal. Teams can turn us round easily, and it's embarrassing, mate. We were not in the final third again. We just weren't opening them up. Loads of possession. But we again had to wait for Torp to come on, where Thomas is sliding Torp in and he's getting shots off. Keeper made some great saves. It's just frustrating, mate. We have to put sides like this to the sword when they're down to 10 men. We're down to 5 points for second now, 10 for third. It's just a bit of we needed that tonight. Now we really need the win Saturday. Otherwise, psychologically, we're going to start wobbling. There's a tough run coming in, and it's going to be all about Uncle Doug in January, mate. Big time.
What did you think of Jig, first of all, the decision to go to a back five, and second of all, KKH tonight?
I didn't mind the back five. We've been leaking a lot of goals, and I thought set up solid from the start away at Preston. I didn't mind it at all, and I thought it was working well. Even against 11, we were still having the better chances, and it was working. There was one where it come to a bit of a 50-50 with a Wolf, where he didn't go for it and he backed off, and they had a chance in the first half. Again, not convinced yet with him. I know he needs minutes and he needs time on the pitch, but the same with Kessler Hayden as well. He gave it away a lot in that first half in areas where you shouldn't be giving it away. I'm not. He was their player of the year last year. He won all the awards for Preston last year, and I'm yet to see it with him.
Yeah, he's struggling to settle, isn't he? His first touch tonight, he put Bobby under pressure with some bad passes.
Same with Josh. That's why Josh got injured, I think, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Am I right?
Yeah, that was about 5 minutes in, weren't it? Josh took a whack.
Yeah, he took a whack. Jiggs is right. Jiggs right though. It was a 50. Well, I don't know if it was more in his favour, Jig. I just thought, just go and command. Didn't go, backed off. Then they had a man over. I mean, they should have buried us at that point. That was a great chance, and they fluffed the lines big time. Then we make the change, go to the 4. But I don't know, mate. The ball over the top worries me, man. It's just too easy. We weren't getting forward. We weren't fluid enough. Rudy, yeah, you got the goal. He frustrated the life out of me. I needed way more out of him at the minute. It's just a bit too slow. It's not fluid enough. It needs to be quicker.
I was surprised he'd stayed on, especially with Sims coming off the bench, like you say. But even was Kai Andrews did pretty well off the bench the other night.
Yeah, he did.
10 minutes.
Yeah.
It was the balls. It was the balls into the box for me tonight. Sakamoto probably didn't put one good cross in. Like Grimes was not putting his usual quality into the box. Torp from corners pretty good by and large. De Silva weren't getting the ball across well enough. Mason Clark,
but I think John, what like you've just said it there, Torp was getting reasonable corners in because it's a ball on the ground. It's still that pitch was awful, absolutely awful. We were getting more joy out of corners and Bobby Thomas's long throw-ins, which, by the way, where have they come from? Because they're probably better than Van Eyck's, sorry, but yeah, they were our threats, set like dead balls, corners, and throw-ins, stuff that was coming out and the ball's moving. Players were struggling with that. Pitch was horrendous. It makes you wonder if they've done it on purpose.
Yeah, it was poor, wasn't it? Yeah, for me though, the game management, I'm like, why not just leave both the big lads up top and bury the game?
I was interested that I know it's hindsight this one massively, but when we were controlling it with 3 at the back and then we went to back 4. After we went 1-0 up, I know it would have been negative, but he could have just taken Rudy off for Latibodia and gone to 3 at the back, who we haven't barely seen this season, have we? It felt like that's very much a hindsight comment, but we didn't do much after going 1-0 up to kind of control the game.
What we do is we go and sit back. It always happens. It's weird. Football's weird where teams will go a goal or 2 up, and then the next minute, you sit back and you're under pressure, and I felt like that's what we done. We got the goal, and then we just went to pieces.
But the game,
we're just all over the place.
It's a psychological thing for me. It's like we're top of the pile. It's like the game's there to be won. That was not a hard game to just get hold of it and like punish them. We should have ran away with that 2-3-0, pack the bus up, crack on back down home, prepare for Saturday. And we've blown it really. We've dropped. Obviously we're a little bit emotional after the game. Not emotional; it's probably the wrong word. But you're angry. The dust will settle. You're like, all right, it's drop points though ultimately. But they have to win Saturday. They have to win Saturday because we're gonna need that gap, and we're gonna need to get to January. We keep saying it all the time. He's got to bring in some players. It was there. Case in point again tonight. has to bring in some players.
I thought we were really easy to play against. So, by the way, sorry, my sound is different tonight. I'm sat in a kitchen in Vienna recording this at 11 p.m. local time. So there's dedication to the pod for you. I thought we were really easy to play against in terms of a back five, the way they set up, even going down to 10 men. They just stuck five at the back jig, three in midfield, and shuffled across and dealt with crosses into the box. I know Torp had a couple of chances, which was probably the best creating we did.
Some great saves, to be fair, from the keeper.
Yeah, and some great creating, by the way. Bobby Thomas on the edge of the box, dropping the shoulder to his man, threw balls through to Torp, a couple of good shots. Well, the first one he didn't get on target, did he? But the second one, yeah, it was a great save. But that was about it, really. Nothing else was really dropping for us in there. We were trying to get second balls again, but nothing was really falling. It was.
Well, that was the
I
thing
don't
for me,
know.
Jake. For 10, 15 minutes, when they just threw the two up top, just like we were dreadful. Like second balls, we're going through the motions. We got caught for the goal. And you're like, hang on a minute, they could turn us one good delivery into the box and we could have folded, mate. We just looked weak all of a sudden. You know, positives, I don't know. Kitch, I thought Kitch's distribution was excellent by and large. Crossfield passing, long range, into feet, carried the ball. Rodoni got more minutes, but he just seems like he's quite a distance off. Right looked sharp enough, but again, you go back to the chances missed. Sims is not missing that header. Is it unfair that he was dropped for the game?
Yeah, that's what I want to say. Do you
Yeah.
think it was unfair? I know again we're talking in hindsight, but
I think
what,
it is
what have they got?
because
5-3.
I think it is because if it had been 11 versus 11 and you kind of 0-0 at 60 minutes and you're bringing on Mason, Clark, Wright, and one other, then you go on and win the game. I feel bad for Sims. I don't think he had a bad game at Ipswich. I just don't think he was bought into the game much, you know? I don't know. It's tough.
Very tough indeed. Yeah, it's such a frustrating one. And as I say, we are recording this just after full time, so we're more annoyed than we would be the following morning. I don't know what else there is to say about the game, to be honest. It's just disappointing how easily they were able to change the game with such a simple change. I don't know if that's a mentality thing, a squad thing, Jig, or if Lampard needs to take some accountability for that.
Potentially, I think he got the half-time sub right, and then that paid off.
But that's not a hard sub to make.
No, it's not. I think
you're playing
I think
10
that
men.
that
Come
kind
on.
of got sent round in every WhatsApp group chat, didn't it? That exact sub. But then seeing the game out, I don't know. Like at 0-0, they done that thing. The keeper went down. They done all that fake injury stuff. It changed all the tactics, and then we scored. And I thought that's karma. That's good. But then there didn't seem to be that much game management by us after we scored. It was just get back to where you were, not kind of all get back and defend for this next 10 minutes and be solid at the back and secure this goal. I don't know.
We just kept doing the same thing over and over again now. And I'm like, guys, and we weren't putting that good ball in the box.
The thing is, they made 3 subs and scored a minute later. There's not much time for us to do. It's a bad reaction to those changes, but they made the subs 5 minutes after we scored, and then scored a minute after those 3 players came on.
Yeah.
Well, it's not like we didn't deal with the subs being made, but it was clear from that last 15 minutes, even after their equaliser, they were causing us problems. I think that was concerning.
Yeah, frustrating, mate. Really frustrating. It looked like tired legs out there again for me.
A little bit. I think there's a bit of match. Sakamoto's first game back after a couple of games. I think Rodoni's still getting up to speed. I think there's a couple in there. I think
heavy pitch though. Heavy pitch,
horrible
windy,
pitch.
Rainy, miserable. You know, them kind of games. But that's where you win titles.
I'd have had Jamie Allen on, tonight at some point, even just for Josh in the first half. I think Allen's energy would have actually benefited quite a lot.
Yeah, it's a good point. We lacked a bit of energy, didn't we, across the park at times? We got up the pitch and, the low block in inverted commas, Jig's favourite. But I'm like, what are we doing different here? What are we doing different? That's what I didn't understand. Like, why didn't you just leave Wright and Sims on up front? You're going to cause some problems then.
Or stick Bobby up top for the last 5.
They've got to kind of, whether or not they whatever they want to do, they're going to have to put 2 or 3 lads around them, and that would have created space for them second and third phase, drop down balls, who's hitting the second ball, edge of the box, bang. You know, even the goals, pony. You know what I mean? It's like we've just lost that ruthlessness. There's just a few players that are slightly under par, a few that are slightly unfit, and now we need to regroup and get into Saturday and start the game well and start putting sides to bed early and managing the game correctly, certainly defensively.
The good thing is, though, John, is we're creating the chances. We're getting the chances still. I know you're saying we've lost the ruthlessness. Yeah, we have at the minute, but them chances are still falling to Hadji Wright. Them chances are still falling to Victor Torp. It will come back, and when we're on a better pitch at the CBS, say, I think that we're due to pump a team 3 or 4-0 again.
I get it, but this is what we say all the time. You know, when people are like, "Oh, what you're moaning about?" I'm like, "Listen, there are levels. If you want to stay, if you want to win the league, there are levels. If you want to stay in the top 2, there are levels." You know, we're so covey, aren't we? You know what I mean? It's like, no one's ever blown it from this position before.
No. And it feels like all the other fan bases are desperate for us to fall off a cliff as well.
And it's just like, when you drop 2 points like that tonight, you're like, come on.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If we fold Saturday, then psychologically we are in big trouble.
I think
we're not going to. Let's be positive.
I think there's an interesting point to be made on possession as well. I was looking tonight, obviously, with the 10 men, 70% possession. We had 68% possession against Ipswich. And we had 40% possession against Middlesbrough. We did have more possession against Charlton. I feel like, do you remember under Mark Robbins where we were just way better when we didn't have the ball and played on the counter-attack? I'm not sure it's quite as noticeable under Lampard, but I do think we are a worse team when we have too much of the ball.
I think teams set up to be like we were under Robbins against us now. I think they like us having the ball and they want to counter us. That goal tonight was a pure counter. I think Rushworth, what was he doing? Dwelling on it, not just blasting it. I think that their goal came from his mistake there. I think
that's fair for throwing, right?
Yeah,
booted out for a throw, didn't he?
You made a good point. Now I was like, technically, Wright's cost you 3 points tonight. He's missed 2 great chances, one an absolute sitter, and he's not defended the goal. But then you make the same point, as in Sims ain't got the pace to pull away. I mean, mad ball from Radoni, put it into a good area. Wright kind of looked across and thought, I don't think this defender's getting this. And I can get on the end of this, no drama. Pulls away, gets the pull, tries to stay on his feet, red card. Sims ain't doing that. So it's kind of swings and roundabouts in it. But it's just so frustrating tonight. I'm like, when are we going to win up there? But to drop points from the position that we were in against 10 men is pretty criminal, really.
Yeah, absolutely. At least that game's out of the way. There's a positive. We don't have to go there again this season.
What's Bristol City's form like at the minute? Last 3 games, do we know?
I can find out for you. In fact, we will preview the Charlton game and the Bristol City game, and do some listener questions after this quick break.
It's been some season from Cov so far. Brilliant stuff, even if our heart rates might disagree. Whether you're feeling inspired to get a bit fitter, or you just want something to help you look after your well-being while following Cov every week, Training Today is a brilliant way to stay on top of how your body is coping. And the timing's perfect, because we've just released Training Today version 4, which includes a brand new feature showing you how your fitness is changing over time, so you can actually see the progress you're making, even on the days it doesn't feel obvious. It links to your Apple Watch and gives you a daily readiness score, so you know when your body's up for a bit more training, when to take it steady, and when to give yourself a proper rest. And the dynamic workouts adjust automatically to how recovered you are. No guesswork, no stress. There's an exclusive offer for that CovPod listeners, a full year for $14.99, and it even supports family sharing, so everyone at home can use it for that same amazing price. Just head to trainingtodayapp.com/thatcovpod. That's trainingtodayapp.com/thatcovpod. And if Cov keep up this incredible form and you find yourself in January quietly eyeing up a mankini for a certain run around Memorial Park, then Training Today is the perfect app to build you up gently, keep you feeling good, and help you take it on at a pace that works for you. Training Today keeps you ready.
Hello guys, welcome back to That Cov Pod. Before the break, John asked me about Bristol City's form, and I need to quickly Google it while John and Jig talk amongst themselves about the prospect of facing Bristol City on Saturday. John?
I just want to go back to because this is instinctively after the game, this pod. Yes, it feels like 2 points dropped, and it probably is against 10 men. But we controlled that game, and even against 11 men, we were having the better chances. We were creating more. It's not all negative.
No, it's not. Jig, I'd have took a point.
Yeah.
You'd have took a point before you went up there tonight. But when the game plays out like that, it's just so frustrating. When we're coming on here 10 minutes after the game, you're like, come on. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's where we are here. Let's like cards on the table. I mean, who else is on the bench that you would have brought on tonight?
Kai, and that's probably it.
Yeah,
Just needed a little bit, like he showed when he come on, that bit of composure, that little bit of quality around the box. Torp showed a few bits. Keeper made great saves, but everyone else was kind of fluffing their lines or having silly shot like that KKH's shot, and you know, De Silva was trying to wind one up, and you know, and you're thinking, how come we ain't put a good ball in the box?
I think that's the thing, isn't it? We don't have, we didn't have many options to change it off the bench once we made a couple of decisions, but we just also.
The pitch was definitely heavy because Tats would cut in and out, and then the final ball was like, it was just heavy. The pitch was heavy. He just couldn't put a good ball in.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, bang on. Yeah, I think the pitch killed us on a few counter attacks at times. When Sims came on, he was trying to drive with the ball at one point, and it bounced away from him. So tricky one. Sky Blue J has said, no need to panic. Key is to get to 50 points after the Swansea match, so we need 6. Then we need about 40 in half a season after playing all the top 6 and parachute teams away from home. Question, why do we look lost of ideas currently? Jig.
Sorry, I say that again. I was in a world of my own.
He said, why are we? I just think people are sitting in against us. Like Jig said, people are sitting in and trying to hit us on the counter, and we're struggling to break it down somewhat. But again, the chances are there. We're not being ruthless enough. At the top end of the season, we were ruthless. Everything was going in, left, right, and centre. I wouldn't have thought I'd ever said this, but you know, BTA on tonight, you're probably bagging. You know, so there are still chances there, and once you take 1 or 2 of them, teams have got to come out and play. We got 1 tonight against 10. They threw 2 lads up top, just went long. We capitulate for 10, 15 minutes, concede under the cosh. You know, but if we get the second goal tonight, then they've got to come out, and then all of a sudden we're just picking them off. But we have to start taking it 2 sides and getting early leads and controlling games. Defensively, I'm concerned about us defensively. We're shipping so many weak goals.
Is that 1 clean sheet in 9, I think, for us?
After we had a run of clean sheets.
Yeah, broke the record for clean sheets.
Now we haven't kept one in absolute years.
Yeah, but there's a lot. That midfield, like if you're going to go Torp Radoni or Torp BTA, that's leaving one kind of holding midfielder to do a lot of work.
Yeah, absolutely.
Natural holding midfielder.
I also think we massively missed Milan tonight. Not his long throws, because Bobby did pretty well. But I think against a back 5, the space is with the fullbacks, isn't it? And I don't think Jay or KKH did anything with the space they had.
No.
They needed to make overlaps. They needed to do more with the ball. They needed to drive in field. They needed to attack with pace. And I think we wasted the extra man, especially in those wide areas.
Yeah, I think we, you know, you go on about going 5 at the back and all that stuff. I think we mix Mason Clark when we don't start him in games, to be honest.
Yeah,
I really do. I think he just create chances, but I don't know, lads. That's really done my head in tonight. That.
Do you know what else was annoying? The ref let him make a sub in added time and then blowing on 5 minutes anyway. It does my head every single time. Where's the
it's like I don't know the rules. Yeah, I know.
He was
poor. The ref was. He was. I didn't think he was good again. I heard
That's your line every week, Jig. I think.
Oh no, I'm just on repeat. But all you have to listen to is the fans. What do they sing every week? Lampard's right. The refs are rubbish. And even in the last minute, Mason Clark, that lad's tried to body Mason Clark out the pitch in like the 94th minute. He's put all his weight in to try and block him. Mason Clark stepped aside. He's fell over. He's through. He's in then to square it, and the refs blew for a foul.
It was never a foul, that.
No. I was like...
But you know what? The lino did well on the offside for Mason. He was about half a yard max off when he was definitely...
He was,
It's
yeah.
frustrating that, but
Yeah.
you know,
Such a
I don't know.
frustrating night.
It was just a frustrating night, a night at the office. Frank will be, I think Frank will be more annoyed with that tonight than maybe Ipswich.
I just don't think we're ever gonna. If we can't win at Preston in that scenario, what was it? 5,000 Cov fans behind that goal, 1-0 up against 10 men, and we still can't win. It must be cursed. That place must be cursed for us.
Yeah, I know. I've learnt my mistake as well on like panning players. You know what I mean? Like KKH at Preston looked a top player. He looked decent when he turned out for Villa. He can play. He looks miles off it at the minute. I backed him at the start of the season. He looks absolutely miles off it. So does the Wolf for me. Still, I worry about him. But again, they need time. They'll come good at some point. So I'm not going to jump all over them. But you're right. We did miss Milan tonight. But then again, he weren't great down at Ipswich, was he? So it's one of them. It's a frustrating night at the office. You can run a line under it, but they've got to win Saturday.
Absolutely, absolutely. Let's do a few more listener questions before we do our score predictions for Saturday. Jacob says, love the pod, keep it up. Thank you very much. Feeling guilty that I'm annoyed, but I can't help it. Feels like dropped points there against 10 men and conceding again. Do we worry now that we may enter a dip in form with mentality if December doesn't go in our favour? We need the confident Cov back. Well, I think that brings us to Saturday, doesn't it? That's how we have to bounce back. I said, how do we respond to a defeat at Ipswich? And it's not great. It's not the best result we wanted, but back on home soil, Jig, we've got to keep this good form at the CBS going under Frank, right?
100%, yeah. No room for error this Saturday, really. This has got to be 3 points because you're going away to Southampton the week after. This is three crucial points this Saturday, and we're good at home. The crowd are good at home. When you look at all them other home crowds that we've been playing against recently, Ipswich home fans were awful. Preston were awful until they scored, and then you heard them a little bit. Us from the start at home, it's like when the team plays away and you normally get a loud away end. Our home end is like that the whole time. So we've just got to be on it as fans, as players. I think Lampard but will be not on at the players, but he'll be saying, "Right, this is it. This is crucial now." He'll have them all with the right mentality going into Saturday, I think.
Yeah, absolutely. Got a question here, by the way, which I'm just interested in some of the replies to as well. From Lambros, he says, would you sell Hadji Wright and bring in another striker in January? How much is Hadji worth now? Some of the comments replying to him are saying, in a heartbeat, just recoup the money. I would certainly sell Wright for me. For me, he isn't good enough. And £10 million.
Ooh.
We can't be saying that, can we? He's been right. Let's put this into some perspective. We didn't even lose tonight. He's been Well, he was the top scorer at the start of the season for a team that's lost 2 games all season, and he created some chances of his own tonight, and he will score goals. I know he was off. What did you count up his offsides tonight, Jake? 5 or 6 was it in the end?
Yeah, someone said at the start, how many times do you think Wright will be caught offside? And one of the that was with us, Dave Williams, he said, bet he's caught offside 4 times in the first half. And I think, yeah, we had 4 offsides in the first half, and I think they're all in.
Anyway, thinking of selling players or anything like that when we're having such a good season, we're top of the league by 5 points. We need to keep this squad together and add to it, not start slagging off the players and think we need to replace them, right?
Football's a game of fine margins. If that keeper hadn't made that save when Wright had a good touch from that through ball from Sakamoto and shot 1-0, bang, everyone's loving him again. If he had scored that header, everyone's loving him again. He might have a bit of kind of ring rust around the old not playing enough at the minute. He's back now. He's playing. He's had a good run out today. If he starts on Saturday, I think he'll score. I think he'll score Saturday.
Yeah, absolutely agree with that.
See him be more ruthless. It's just like the casualness of it. You know, the shot in the first half, the keeper said, did everything brilliantly. And then it's just like, just drill it hard and low. And it's kind of like a little side foot pass, and the keeper makes a good save. You're like, mate, you've got to score there.
But this is why he's in the championship, John, right? This is why he's with us.
Of course it is. I don't think if you're going up, I don't think any of our strikers are anywhere near good enough.
No, but he's good at this level, and he can score at this level.
Yeah, and he is, mate. And also, we don't need to be getting rid of anyone. We need to be bringing people in.
No, 2 games ago, no one would have been asking to get rid of any of our players, really. 10 points clear and on a 10 win or 11 win in 12.
You're not learning anything new about Adji Wright and Sims. What you've
No.
learned about BTA is new because you're like, oh wow, he's torn it up, isn't he? Whereas Sims and Wright, it's just the same frustrations over and over again with them. They go on little spurts of running, scoring goals, and then they have bad patches. We're in a bad patch now. We've talked about it before on the podcast. We will hit a patch where psychologically we need to get strong and we need to grind wins out. We should have won tonight. We didn't. We got an unfair 3-0, I thought, on Saturday. It was a much tighter game than that. But then you go into Saturday, you have to win. If you go Southampton, you could lose there. All of a sudden, you took 4 points from 12. That's psychologically a blow. And it's about like charging into like beyond Christmas and into January. And it's going to be down to Doug putting his hand in his pocket and Frank and working out what they need to bring in, because we just need a little bit extra coming off that bench, a little spark, some pace, something a bit different. Keep going on about having something a bit different with people who are going to sit in against us like they are.
Yeah, bang on, John. I know we're halfway through a midweek as well, though, but we have the best home record in the league still, 7 wins out of 9, 2 draws.
A long way to go.
We're the only team unbeaten at home. We've also still got the best away record in the league, 21 points from 11 games, and we've lost twice and we've drawn 3 and won 6. Here's a question for you both then. Does Hadji Wright get 20 goals this season?
If he's involved in playing from now to the end of the season, yeah. I think he does.
So
Yeah, I do. Yeah, the carrot of the World Cup's there for him. Go and win your place for America. What more do you want? You can win the league and bounce into the World Cup. Get up and running.
Yeah, I think he gets 20. I think the first 2 touches he showed, it's a very brief kind of period we saw, but that showed his quality. And I know he didn't get the finish, but he's got enough about him. I think he'll score a lot of goals.
How long has he been out for now? How many games has he played? He's got 8 goals, right?
Give me 2 secs. I'll find out for you. He's got 8 goals, in the league.
I mean, I think his return's very good for what he plays.
I've got to go back to the clean sheets, though. 1 in 9. It's
Yeah.
a problem. Everyone's bombing on and like, where the goal scoring side? It's like, yeah, sound. Keep a clean sheet and start winning some games 1-0. Who cares? 3 points is 3 points. We've got to start defending our box better.
8 goals in 16, Jig, to answer your question. He's missed 3 games with injury and he was on the bench at Portsmouth for the whole game, so he didn't come on in that one.
It's not a bad return when you look at it statistically, but we need more out of him.
And he was on a flying run of form at the start of the season when he was getting lots of minutes. So him and Radoni, give him a bit of time to come back to fitness and we'll see where we're at. It's not time for a meltdown. I know you said we're in a little sticky patch, but it's very much a small patch right now in terms of 1 loss and 1 draw. Yes, we should have won tonight against 10 men, but also we never beat Preston. So a draw's the best potentially we could have hoped for historically. We have to win our home games. And as you say, Southampton away after that it's a horrible game. I'll be surprised if we get anything from that at the moment, especially. Southampton won again tonight. They're absolutely flying. So we have to win against Bristol City at home. So, Jig, will we?
Yeah, we'll win this Saturday. We'll get back to winning ways this Saturday. We're not playing bad. We dominated that game today. Look at all the stats, even at 11 against 11. We were having the better chances. We were having more possession. We're a good team. We've just got to start being ruthless. We've just got to.
It just feels a bit sluggish, though, Jig.
It does, but if you were a Preston fan, you'd be thinking, Cov looking good. They're looking better than us. They're having all the chances, even at 11 against 11, John. So I don't know.
I don't think people are looking at us like the sides that have done what we've done previously and thinking, my God, we're all right. We're efficient. You know what I mean? We're not blowing sides away. We have done at the start of the season, but I don't think I think we overplay sometimes slightly, and I can refer back to the possession-based side of things that Si was on about. I just want us to get through the gears quicker, be a bit more ruthless at the top end. Trying to do the same thing over and over and over again. It just needs that little moment of quality, and that's where Radoni can make the difference. That's why I was disappointed with him again tonight. I know
Well,
he's coming back.
yeah, I
It's
thought he
taking a minute.
started well, but then he faded. Maybe that is
Yeah,
fitness.
it's fitness, mate, and it's heavy pitch, But hey, listen, we're dwelling on it now. I mean, I'll go back to the point about what's Bristol's form side. Did you get to have a look at that?
Yeah, they're hosting Leicester City on Wednesday night. So that's their midweek game. So we'll have an extra day's rest than them. And we have had two long away trips, by the way, as well, in
Yeah,
the last
true.
few days. So hopefully we get a bit more rest into legs. They lost at home to Millwall on Saturday. Everyone's losing to Millwall at the moment. They beat Bristol City and they lost at Wrexham. So they've won two and lost two of their last four. And yeah, that they are a hit and miss team. As we should be beating them at home. They will be probably end up finishing 11th, 12th in the championship this season, I guess. But there's not too much to be frightened about.
They've got quality though in the side. They're one of them sides that's got enough there to create. You know what I mean? Like we saw
Yeah.
Charlton create against us. We've seen even Blackburn at the first time we come back from international. That people are showing that they can open us up. We can't allow that Saturday. We need a strong, controlled performance, calm everyone down in the squad, move
They
into the
got
next phase.
former Preston striker Emil Rees, big lad up front. Scott Twine, formerly Burnley, takes all the free kicks, very
Yeah,
good
he's a
free
good
kick
player.
taker. And then Anis Mehmeti, who I mentioned that Cov could look at in January, hopefully for signing, because his contract's up at the end of the season in the final third as well. So it won't be an easy game, but we should have enough to beat them. They will play with a back three as well, which is going to be very interesting to see after what Preston did to us tonight. I don't know. How do you think we line up for this one then, John? What would you do? Because you're saying we looked a bit tired, but also Rodoni's got more minutes, Tats has got minutes, Hadji's got more minutes. What would you do?
4-3-3. I would go right through the middle again. I think you've got to know if you want to get him up to speed. It's clear Frank prefers him over the two main lads. So you got Wright, Mason Clark, Sakamoto, Rodoni, Torp, Grimes, and then the back four and the keeper.
Okay.
And,
Do you agree?
hopefully Milan's back, but I'm not sure if we'll hear any news on that.
What about you, Jake?
I agree with that. That's the team that got us on that run in 11 wins in 12 games. That's the team that after game two, we were happy with week in, week out. If we've got all of them players back and fit now, that is your starting 11. We've always said it. We've been dipping in and out because of injuries, but if they're all back, I'd revert back to that.
Excellent stuff. So I think the last thing we need to do, guys, is score prediction for Saturday.
I just had a text saying that the lead at the top is halved in 7 days. Quite interesting. Big swing.
But there's nothing to worry about. Hey?
I just find things like that interesting. Yeah, and I'm calm. I know that they'll go into Saturday and they'll get the victory. And then
but we're still 10 points clear of third, so still 10 points clear in the automatics, right?
We bounce into Southampton and we start getting some rhythm going again.
Yeah,
crucial thing.
Well, Borough won again tonight, I think, and they are looking very good under their new manager as well. So as I said at the weekend, we're not going to cruise to the title or cruise to promotion. That's not how it works, especially for non-parachute teams in the Championship. We're going to have to fight for the points.
Yeah, I think we needed a bit of a dust down off a couple of sides.
Yeah,
no, we've had them.
Now it's a chance to prove what we're about heading into December. I'm going to back us to win on Saturday. I'm going to back us to win. Can I back us to keep a clean sheet? No, I don't think I can. I'm going to back us to win 2-1 and get the job done very, very narrowly. What about you, John?
2-0.
Clean sheet.
I think they really need to dial down on it. There's no way they'll be coming away now thinking it's just happening too many times. Too many poor goals. Need to get their head on the game. I think it'll be a tight game. We'll nick the second one late on.
And you, Jake?
3-1.
Okay. All right.
3-1. Yeah. I don't think we'll keep a clean sheet, but I can't go 2-1 because you've had it. And so I'll go for 3. We'll get one late on to finish it off. Yeah. He went first.
I had to get it in there. Jig, thatcovpod.com. Still some good merch on there, isn't there?
Still some good merch. If you get it in now, you should be delivered before Christmas. Yeah, have a look. Thatcovpod.com.
There you go. What an ad that is. Any final thoughts, lads? I need to go to bed soon.
Yeah, it's not the end of the world. Don't worry about it. It's a chance to get 3 points at Preston, which would have been amazing. We'd have took a point before the game. Saturday's massive. We go there, we back the boys, get 3 points, and we move on. We're still top. We're still 5 points clear top. You'd have took this. We're still 10 points clear in the automatic spots. Don't panic. Everything will be okay.